Welcome back to Daily with Nate. My name's Nate Ridgeway. I'm your personal performance coach. And over the next 21 days, we're going to focus on a book by one of my coaches and mentors, Mr. John Maxwell. It's called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Growth. I'm a certified John C. Maxwell coach for those of you that don't know, and I love his content and his material. I've read this book many times, and I've actually taught through it several times. And so we're going to cover the 21 laws over the next 3 weeks. And I really think that they're going to add a lot of value to you, give you a lot of things to think about. Law number 1 in the book is the law of focus. And the law of focus says you are most likely to accomplish relative to those ideas which you entertain the most. Now, a little over 4 years ago, and this was just before the pandemic lockdown, I had come up with this crazy idea that I was going to cut a record. Now, I've been a musician my whole life, but I'd never taken the time to cut my own solo record, and I'd started writing some songs. And so I started tossing around this idea and thinking about it more and more. And I got together with a friend of mine that I'd always wanted to produce my record if I ever decided to do that. We had a conversation. He listened to some of my songs. He loved them and said, we definitely have a record here. So immediately I went live on Facebook and began to talk about it. And here's the crazy thing. I only had a few songs. I didn't have the 18 songs that ended up on that record, but I didn't have, when I first had the idea, I didn't have the songs. I didn't have the producer. I didn't have a studio. I didn't have a band or players. I didn't have the money. I didn't know what I was going to do, but it was this thing that I started to feast on. It was an idea that I was just constantly playing in my mind, and I was so focused on it that slowly, step by step, I brought it into being. First, I had a conversation with somebody that could produce my record. Number 2, I went public with it. I put it out there and I was like, hey guys, I got this crazy idea. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to cut a record. Then I started playing my guitar more and writing songs, and then more conversations with Eric, the guy that eventually became my producer, and then saying, hey, let's cut some demos. And then as we began to cut the demos, we started to flesh out the songs. And then it was like, hey, we could do this and we could do that with the song. And it was like the more I focused on it and thought about it, it was just slowly bringing this thing into being that really kind of felt like a pipe dream at first, to be honest with you guys. And it's just proof that when we really get focused on something, we almost kind of freak out on it a little bit. We become a little bit obsessive, right? And some of you guys know what I'm talking about. If you have a hobby that you're really into, maybe you've become obsessive with some things in the past. But if there's something that you've always really wanted to accomplish, if there's that thing that's inside of you that's been on the back burner for a while, you don't know how you're going to bring it into being. I'm going to tell you, if you just simply start to focus on it, put your thought life on it, start listening to podcasts about that thing, start reading blogs about that thing, start Google searching about that thing, and I promise you there's going to be plenty of help out there on the internet that can give you ideas of what it is that you can do and how you can bring it into being. But the more you focus on it, the better opportunity that you have of actually realizing that thing and bringing it into being. So John Maxwell's law number 1 of the 21 irrefutable laws is the law of focus. You're most likely to accomplish relative to the ideas that you entertain the most. It's all about the thought life, right? As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And so you absolutely can be that woman or that man you've always wanted to be. You can accomplish the thing that you've always wanted to accomplish. If you're getting value out of this whole Daily with Nate series, if you're enjoying it, if it means something to you, if you would, please hit that like button below. Drop me a comment, even if it's just hey Nate, I'm here, I'm watching. That means so much to me. It lets other people know that you're watching. And then if there's somebody that you can think about that maybe that this would add some value to their life, just grab the link or hit that share button to share it over with them. Also, make sure to subscribe, ring the bell, so every time a brand new video pops up here on the channel, you'll get a notification. And again, my name's Nate Ridgeway. Thank you so much for being here on another episode of Daily with Nate.